to see how this kind of goes and plays out. Wayne State, they're a very, very reputable team, and they are kind of one of the top three, to be honest. So it's going to be a very, very fun game this season. And I don't know, what are your thoughts, Leif?
I'm ready. I'm ready to see what DSU Rocket League is bringing for this season. I know, like last season didn't go exactly how you guys had probably hoped, but I'm hoping they made the adjust. You guys made the adjustments during kind of like this off season kind of time, and be ready to just go at it in this semester. I'm excited to see what they have.
Yeah, we worked really hard over the winter here, just kind of getting those nooks and crannies kind of smoothened out, and we really hope to kind of see where that takes us, especially with the new spot that Gary V is going to be filling in here. And I'm super excited. So I think that we're actually ready to get into the first game. All right, gotcha.
So it looks like we are already down 2-0, which is kind of unfortunate, and they just scored a goal. But hopefully now that we're watching the game, now they know it's on, now they know they have to perform, and we're going to hopefully bring back this 2-goal deficit.
No, we're a lot of time here on the clock. There's definitely going to be a lot of room to make up these 2 goals here.
So we got Wayne State getting some early control here in the offensive zone. DSU trying to make a push back.
It's like Def Moss going to be passing it up to Jacob, or to Zach there. Huge 50 for Flush there. They're going to be passing it mid, and it looks like it's going to be a wide open goal again for Wayne.
Yeah, DSU kind of looked like they got a little caught out of positions there, and just nobody really back there to defend the goal, and that's just kind of a free goal there for Wayne State.
Yeah, it seemed Def Moss tried to go up for a really early 50 to try to catch him there, but just wasn't able to get it, and Flush with a really good 50.
DSU trying to get control off the kickoff.
Going to be getting an early demo there. Back pass here for Gravy. Oh, but he misses the back pass. Good clear on the left side of the wall there. And bad news is actually going to miss it.
State trying to go on the offensive. Get
Going
a little
for a
center
double touch,
there.
not there. Good bump though.
Going to need to try to clear this ball out of the zone if they want to claw back this little deficit that they've dug themselves in this early stage of the game.
Painted Harp there for an early contest just to try to get that challenge there and try to help fight for some possession here. It looks like Painted Harp might be a little bit out of position there, but Gravy was there to help him out.
You having a little bit of trouble clearing here, and Flush almost.
Gravy with a really nice clear there off on the left side of the wall. Hopefully he goes. Oh, he misses the bump, but Def Moss is there for a challenge. Double commit there for Wayne. Hopefully we can kind of capitalize on that.
Oh, and flick comes up, and Def Moss almost caught out there, but Flush is able to pick up the scraps there, and
Gravy just a little bit behind. And it's going to be 0-4 here for Wayne. 140 minute. I mean, it's looking shy, but I've definitely seen a lot crazier things happen in Rocket League, so definitely not impossible here.
We have seen longer comebacks here in the CCL here. Hopefully DSU can make one of those comebacks in their first game of the season. Def Moss going for a touch here. Just gets deflected into the corner, so not too dangerous, but Wayne State.
Painted Harp up for a pretty good contest here in the corner on Wayne's side. Def Moss following. And it doesn't seem that we have an early contester there. We're going to have to back off here and play a little bit of defense. Painted Harp up on the wall. Trying to get a good clear, but he's bumped off. Def Moss now. Oh, there you go.
Saved by Painted Harp.
Gravy with a nice clear up to Painted Harp there. Does he have a shot? No. Just
but Def has it.
Def Moss has it in the middle. Nice job, Def Moss. With a great pass from Painted Harp there.
There you have it. The first goal of DSU's season.
Yeah, the first time that they were actually able to kind of collect themselves on offense and, obtain some possession instead of fighting for it the entire time, they were able to get a goal there. So that's really nice.
DSU not coming away empty-handed in this first game here, which is always a good sight to see. Maybe they can kind of carry this momentum into the next game if they aren't able to score 3 goals here in the next minute.
100%, yeah. Gravy here on the wall, going to be passing to Painted Harp.
Flush able to clear it out and maybe get a little bit of an offensive push here of his own. Gravy trying to clear here, but
Def Moss with a really early challenge up on the ceiling there. Now Zach a little bit skelter on the corner, and flush with a very high aerial there.
looked like he came off the ceiling there for that one too.
It was a
No.
it was a really good shot. It just Gravy
Yeah.
was just a little bit out of position, and Flush had a really good placement shot, to be honest, on the right side post. So 15 seconds here, 1-5 for DSU. Honestly, I think this might be a close game, but like you mentioned earlier, hopefully they can kind of carry some of this tempo into the next game and learn from the first game, because a 5-game series is a lot to learn in just 5 minutes. So hopefully they can kind of change up some of their gameplay and adapt to Wayne's ability to play here.
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 minutes wasn't looking too good for DSU as they went down pretty early.
Despite not seeing the first 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then they kind of started to pick it up towards the end. It looked a little bit more competitive there. But yeah, hopefully DSU takes what they learned in this first game and maybe is able to carry it over into the next. So it looks like they'll be going and talking over things they can do a little bit better. But what did you notice from that game?
The first thing that I want to point out actually is the fact that we're really having to fight for a little bit of offensive pressure here. I see that this game has been really one-sided so far. And to be able to try to really get to that ball just in time, picking up small pods, making sure that you're contesting in time, making sure that you're getting a good placement shot every single time for passes or for a shot is very important here. So, being able to be fast on defense and accurate on offense, it's a big challenge, but it can be done.
Yeah, and especially against a talented team here that we have in Wayne
and
State.
he gets past 2 of them, but Kenneth Harp there for the save. And Gravy for a demo here would give us some offensive tempo.
DSU looking like they're coming out a little bit more strong here than they did in the previous game. Definitely going for a lot more touches and trying to get more things going on offense.
Ooh, double commit there for DSU. Gravy's the only person back. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of ball control here. Gets a flick over 1. Off the corner. Kenneth Harp there for a shot, but it's a little bit high. But Gravy is there on the other side. Gets 50'd.
DSU sustaining some pretty good offensive pressure here. This will lead to a goal. Yeah, looking like Wayne State's trying to clear here, and it's just
Def Moss up for a shot, but he's a little bit too high. Gravy trying to get a clear just to keep them away from the ball and prevent them from getting a really good offensive attack here. Wayne throwing it into the wall there. Looks like Def Moss might have a little bit trouble getting to that, but Zach's there for him. Gravy with a really high pop.
That ball just goes to the corner, so not too dangerous of an opportunity, but at least
Flush
DSU
tries to do a musty flick on him there. Kenneth Harp getting bumped, but looks like...
Okay. That could have been dangerous right there for Wayne State. Playing with fire, but DSU trying to keep this pressure
Kenneth Harp up
up.
for a shot, but Flush is right there. Amatsagashi up for a shot, but it looks like there's going to be a little bit left. Gravy's going to try to take it down. But it gets right past him. Def Moss is there. Flush throwing it right back into our back wall, but it's all right.
And really back and forth here these first few minutes of play. Neither team really getting too many dangerous chances, and it's just about whoever's going to have a break in their defense.
It's always about
first.
who makes the first mistake, to be honest. And it looks like we might see the first mistake from Gravy there as he goes on. That's almost a caster curse, to be
No,
honest.
I think we definitely cursed them there, but yeah.
Oh, no. We see Gravy up on the back post there, and he just wasn't able to get to the position that he needed to get to there.
Yeah, good goal by Flush, though, and Wayne State jumping out to that early lead here, but we'll see if DSU can capitalize. They're definitely in a better position than they
Winning
were
the 50
the
there.
first game.
Bad News able to get it into the left wall. Flush passing it over to Bad News, but Gravy's there to stop it. Kind of a slow recovery here. Def Moss is going for a shot, but it's a little bit short, but Gravy gets the bump.
Was hoping one of those Wayne State players would be caught out of position there, but they're not.
Oh, no one's back in time. Is Gravy going to get there? He does.
Good defensive play there by Gravy. Able to keep the ball out of the goal, and DSU trying to mount their own counterattack of their own, but they have too much boost to contend.
Matsugaki going for a shot there, but Def Moss is able to pick it up. And Gravy going up for a shot here, doesn't have the read. Painted Harp gets beaten. Def Moss's last back here goes for a soft touch just to kind of slow down the game, get his teammates back. Gravy there for a nice 50 going on the left wall for DSU.
Def Moss trying to clear it out of the zone here and able to get down into Wayne State territory, but just get shot right back.
Ooh, Painted Harp with a very nice clear on their side.
Oh,
Gravy up for a shot. Oh, and he doesn't have the read. Painted Harp being the last man back. He's kind of got to play a little careful here.
Good bump there, though. Kind of throws him a little off center. And
Def Moss with the beat, and it goes off the bottom left corner.
Very unlucky there for Def Moss. We got 1 minute left here. Score is still 1-0 in favor of Wayne State.
Goes for a psycho. Yeah, definitely not over, to be honest. This game is still back and forth. You know, anything could happen. It takes one mistake, and that's literally all it takes.
Yeah, DSU just needs some sort of defensive breakdown here from Wayne State, but Wayne State's able to keep
Matsugaki with a great
pressure.
pass, but that Gravy is there to stop that.
Saved by Flush here on Painted Harp. Gravy looking like he missed his touch there, and it's only Def Moss back. Looks like he's able to clear it out for the time being.
Painted Harp.
Trying to get a touch here. On goal, but Def Moss bring it back into the zone. Not able to get dangerous of a touch there.
10 seconds left. Gravy's up for a touch. He gets the 50. Is someone going to be up for it in time? No. Def Moss really needs to get a great clear out here and go for another one. Looks like Flush is going to take a little bit of control. He gets the flip reset. Gravy. Oh, Def Moss gets the... Oh, it really looked like Def Moss was going to be able to catch that and take it up the wall, but he just lost it. He must have been at a boost right then and there.
Much closer game though than what we
Yeah.
had in the first game there.
100%. I definitely feel that, especially Gravy, I saw him adapting really well there. You know, they really picked up their defensive pressure. They were able to get a lot better opportunities at scoring. They were able to see a lot more shots being taken out there. And, you know, now that we see this adaptability being taken into place, we can actually try to execute on those. And just as soon as you take like more shots, they'll fall. So we really just gotta, hopefully we can get a little bit more shot accuracy and shot placement here this round.
Yeah, DSU definitely in need of some more dangerous offensive opportunities here if they want to get themselves on the board. I feel like they're trying here in the beginning stages of the game, but
Def Moss up for a really good bang on the wall for Painted Harp there, but he loses a little bit of control. Matsugaki with a really good flick high. Gravy's there, but he's not quite able to get the save.
and it looks like he even gave him a little bit of help here towards the end, but that would have been he had to try to make a touch there, or else it was going in. But
yeah, it looked as if Gravy wanted to go for the demo there on a Matsugaki, but he just wasn't quite able to get it, and then unfortunately he was just a little bit late on getting back.
So Wayne State drawing first blood here early in the third game. Wayne State leading 2-0. But DSU trying to mount an offensive attack here to try to get back into this game.
Gravy taking possession here. Painted Harp right behind him. It looks like he might have an opportunity, but there's bad news. Oh, and the bump, it's not quite there. Gravy's going to have to get there in time, though.
Almost very unlucky there for DSU. Nobody back there, but luckily doesn't go into the goal.
Def Moss with
but that does. That's unlucky.
a Matsugaki is early challenging Def Moss there, and he was able to snip it right past him.
Yeah, good there.
Dang. Def Moss just needed a little bit more boost to be able to catch up to him and get a good 50 on it.
Yeah, and Wayne State jumping out here to another early lead here. 2-0 as we end the first minute of play here. DSU trying to get some offensive pressure going, but not
Gravy
getting
in the
too
corner.
much. Oh,
Bad news taking it up the wall here. Looks like he's going to get contested by Painted Heart, but it misses. Def Moss 2. Gravy's there for the clear.
Wayne State clearing it out of their zone, trying to get some offensive pressure. Oh, close one there. And the demo from Painted Harp and Def Moss coming through with the demo as well. DSU clearing it out of their zone now.
Huge clear. Gravy with a shot opportunity here. Massive clear by a Matsugachi. I don't think Bad News is going to be able to get there in time, but Flush goes for a shot. Oh, it was a Matsugachi again. Oh my gosh.
Wow, Matsugashi getting the hat trick here in the first 2 minutes of play, and yeah, the double commit there from DSU, and
caught
not
Painted
able
Heart
to get
playing
to it.
front post, and that's just not quite the position you want to be in there. 3 minutes left to go. There's still time. There's still room to make an effort here and try to get this game back.
Yeah, DSU just in dire need of some offensive pressure here, and they haven't really been able to provide it so far this game.
Double commit Def Moss with the ground here. He's going to be playing a one-on-one zero boost. Gets a great 50 there for Gravy, but
DSU kind of on the back foot here now as Wayne State brings it into their zone.
Gravy taking it up the backboard. Gets over one. Zero boost here. Goes for a 50. Nice. Gets a center. Fluke in this game. Now they actually swapped Fluke out for Flush.
I was going to say, I don't think I saw Fluke in the first two
I didn't
games
either.
there. Maybe he just changed his Steam name.
Bad News going change his Steam name mid-game. Gravy taking it up the wall bound, but he's contested by a Matsugachi.
And Bad News there. Another goal here for Wayne State. 2 minutes left here in play.
It just looked like Painted Harp he had possession, but he just touched it a little bit too hard, and it just happened to be right in front of his nose.
We did get news that Wayne State did, in fact, sub in Fluke in place of Flush, so no Steam name change here. But yeah, Wayne State looking like they're still in control of this game, even with the subbed player.
Gravy going for a 50 there, but it doesn't look like it's going to have any shot opportunity. Gravy with a shot opportunity, going to be maybe passing mid. Painted Harp taking it. Looks like they're all really tight in the corner here. It's a bounce off their backboard. Gravy with a 50, but gets beaten. Def Moss with a nice pinch there. Going to kick it middle, maybe.
DSU, minute 30 left to get something going here on offense, but they've just kind of been confined to their defensive side of the field. Try to get something going now. Try to center the ball.
Gravy with a pass opportunity there for Def Moss, but it looks like it gets tossed away.
Wayne State playing some really tight defense here. There's just no gaps here for DSU to exploit. Playing really well together right now. Oh,
Def Moss is just not able to get to the other side of the ball in time for a shot. Gravy up for a touch here towards the middle. Gets beaten by both Def Moss and Gravy. Gravy demoed.
DSU needs to try to get a clear here. It's looking...
Def Moss with a really good clear here. Hopefully one can follow up, but gets beaten.
Yeah, things are looking pretty grim here for DSU in the dying seconds of this game. We got 30 seconds left to score 4 goals. I mean, technically it's not impossible, but very improbable, unfortunately.
Painted Harp with it almost double touching.
That would have at least been a good moral victory in order to get that goal here towards the end of the game, but
Fluke taking possession here, kind of going for a little bit of style points, and Bad News goes for a touch, but Def Moss is able to stop that.
dying seconds
Fluke might have
here.
some space here to make a play.
I just gonna let it touch. Looks like Wayne State might get the shutout here in the last game, and yeah, that's 3-0. GG's there.
Yeah, as you know,
Wayne
CCL is a
State.
5-game series, so it's best of 5, and yeah, that seems to be it, to be honest. And you know, a very tough game. The second game looked a lot closer than the other two, despite not seeing the first 2 minutes of the first game. And you know, I mean, honestly, I saw a lot of great shot opportunities that game. To be honest, there were really some good opportunities to make a shot, get some good passes out there, and get a really good shot out. But it just seemed that Wayne was just there every single time, to be honest. And one thing I did notice is that a lot of DSU, they've been passing out to each other, and the second man to go up for the pass just isn't quite there in time. And it seemed that Wayne was just there automatically. Like they were like reading their minds. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, they were just in the right position at the right time. And yeah, unfortunately, DSU weren't able to capitalize probably on as many shot opportunities as they would have liked to. But yeah, first game of the year, some stuff to build on here. And I think in a little bit here, we'll be having Def Moss down for a post game interview. I don't know when he's gonna be down here, but yeah, just stay tuned for that. But yeah, DSU coming out with a pretty good showing against a good team, a very very good Wayne State team here, and I'm looking forward to see what they have in the coming games as the rest of the season kind of flows along here.
Yeah, I am as well. It'll be really interesting to see how we kind of unfold with the addition of Gravy in. Of course, we'll be rotating in Gravy with me, Jacob, and Zach, Def Moss, and Painted Harp, of course. And as we're kind of filling in the blanks because Def Moss, our coordinator, he's going to be graduating after this semester. So really excited to see how we can kind of mesh all three of us together, all four of us together, and kind of get a perfect match in. So really excited to go forward with this season, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be good to see you guys all build together. And as Def Moss leaves after this semester, hopefully you guys can kind of keep the train rolling and able to just kind of build off of what you guys are doing this semester. And yeah, hopefully I'm looking for a good season here at a Rocket League because it's fun to watch. So
yeah, and there's such fast-paced games. It's almost hard to keep up, to be honest. I mean, we see it's back and forth, and then all of a sudden it just becomes a goal, and it's almost hard to depict what exactly happened. It could be positioning, it could be a demo, a 50 that just went wrong. It's really hard to determine exactly what went wrong during a lot of games. So it's a tight game. Unfortunately, we took a loss in the first one, but we're excited. I'm super excited to see how this goes out.
Yeah, Rocket League always for me because I've done Valorant and then Rocket League casting as well. It's always hard to kind of like figure out like what like you're saying what went wrong when somebody scores a goal or something or what was done well. Because like I just feel like whenever I cast Rocket League, it's just done in like the blink of an eye because the games are just so fast paced and yeah, like you said, yeah, really hard to keep up. But it's always a joy to watch Rocket League because I just get to see players do what I could never do every single game. Like I'd be lucky to do what in one game that what these players do in 5 seconds. So yeah, truly
and something
impressive.
super interesting too is the idea that it's always like you almost always know what you want to do, but what you want to do and what you end up doing is always an entirely different thing. Whenever I play Rocket League, I always think of games are kind of like you have two different buckets essentially. One is a mental bucket and one is a physical bucket. And whenever both of those buckets have filled up, that's when you essentially rank up. And I would argue that a lot of us have our mental buckets super, super full, but our physical buckets just aren't quite there yet. We're lacking a little bit of speed, a little bit of boost management maybe. Positioning is a big play. We saw a lot of goals that flew past us due to positioning. I mean, we saw Gravy on the back post there. We saw Painted Heart playing front post, and they shot right behind him. So things of that nature just kind of need to be ironed out. And as soon as those goals will be easily deflected, and we can turn that around. So
yeah, just from an outsider kind of looking on, like I've played a little bit of Rocket League here and there, but I feel like rotations are always just like, especially in team play, it's really hard to manage them, I guess, and just make sure everybody's kind of in the right spot at the right time because obviously you can't just have somebody playing goalie the entire time. I mean, you technically could do it, but it's a lot harder, and it's hard to kind of. I would guess it's pretty hard to get that kind of like fluid motion where everybody's just kind of on the same page at all times. Because I mean, it's only 3 people, but it's very fast paced, and you can't always communicate exactly what's going to happen. So you guys kind of have to have a little bit of mind reading, I guess, or just knowing what people are going to do before they even do it, and that can be very tough.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about somebody sitting in net, I remember when I first started playing Rocket League, and I was maybe gold, plat, maybe even lower than that, and there would always be somebody on my team or someone on their team that would just sit in the net. And honestly, it worked, to be honest. And when you get to this kind of a high caliber league, it just doesn't necessarily work anymore, and you kind of have to wonder, well, why not? And that's mainly just because people are passing way smarter. Like the passes are so much faster, and they're like across the net, and it can be it's an entirely different atmosphere when it comes to high caliber gameplay such as this. And it really comes down to how well can you read your teammate and how well do they trust you. Trust is a very important role in this kind of caliber of gameplay, and it essentially comes down to how well can you trust your teammate. Do you know that he's going to be there even though you don't see him? Because a lot of players, they actually don't use their camera, myself included. I'm very, very guilty of that as well. I don't use my camera as much as I probably should. And so you almost just have to trust that he's going to be there, or trust that they're not, like, the enemies are not going to be there. And reading 50s becomes a very big thing too. And, with the high caliber gameplay, it becomes very, very hard to compete.
Yeah, I remember when I was starting out playing Rocket League, I'd play with my higher ranked friends, and they'd just stick me in goal because. But when you're playing, higher ranked lobbies, yeah, they'll just completely just pass it the other way than you think they're going to. And basically, when you're playing goalie in high ranks, it's like you almost just have to guess, and most of the time you're wrong because they probably are able to guess what you're going to do much quicker than you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah, definitely goalie is not a position you want to play in Rocket League.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're going to take a small break here while we wait for Jacob to come down for a little bit of a game interview. And so I think we'll just kind of sit tight until then. So again, I'm Colin.
Leif, and stay tuned for the interview with Defmoss here in a little bit.
All right. We are back here with Jacob, or Defmoss here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we got a few questions for you. Our first question was, obviously it wasn't the result you guys wanted tonight, but I just wanted to kind of get what your thoughts were on the match tonight.
Yeah, so Wayne State College is a team that got second place at the LAN last semester, so they're obviously a very good team. And now that UNL, the team that they lost to, is out of the league, they are potentially the best team in the league at this point. Definitely top two. So I'm not heartbroken over the loss because, again, very strong team, and that combined with our new roster. Unfortunately, Nuka was on the wrong end of our recent roster change. But I think it's going to turn out for the better once we get some more time in. And, yeah, first week, I don't think it went that bad.
Yeah. And I noticed that Wayne State, they're like you mentioned, a very, very solid team. And UNL, they actually had graduated a couple of their top players there too. So UNL is no longer kind of on the top of the food chain, and now it's just kind of Wayne. So you mentioned the addition of Gravy. What are your thoughts on Gravy, and how have you guys kind of altered your adaptability and play style to, accommodate with Gravy?
Right now, we're still kind of trying to feel it out, I'd say. He's very strong mechanically. He's a very fast player, but we're still kind of trying to feel out exactly how he fits in with me and Zach. So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And I mean, it's been a long time since you guys have played your last CCL game in between seasons, in between semesters and whatnot. So I just kind of want to get a sense of like what you guys have kind of been working on, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a tough question. I don't know if we've had anything specific. We've all been grinding. I guess we all took a little bit of time off, a couple breaks here and there, but we've just been staying on the grind, especially more recently.
Just playing more ranked and,
Yep.
and stuff like that, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah. There you go.
And so you mentioned that Wayne State is at the top of the food chain, and we actually just played the top of the food chain today. What is kind of your hope for the rest of the season, and how does that look like?
Yeah. So as compared to last season, the main goal, where we're setting our sights per se, is to try to get one win. Then we'll be better than last season. But I really think we can make land. I think we can get top 4 of the league. So that's really what I'm hoping for. Trying to make land.
The only way to go is up when you haven't won a game.
Exactly.
All
Go
right.
down from here.
Well, I think that's all the questions that we had for you, Jacob. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention at all?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
This is Jacob again, and Leif, Colin, and that's all we have for you today. So join us next week. Rocket League will be playing UNL, and
Not because obviously they're out of the league. I forget who it was. I haven't checked.
okay, gotcha.
You'll
Well,
find
yeah.
out next Sunday.
Next Sunday, you'll find out.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then.